Hey guys, how we doing? I wonder why this is crooked. I think because I hit it this morning. There, that's better. Today we're going to be talking about the Stamparatus. I don't know if any of you know what it is or don't know what it is. You might know what it is. But it is a wonderful stamping mechanism, especially if you are mass producing, or you might have arthritis, or you might have, you have a little bit of a tremor. It's great. It's absolutely great because you're going to get a perfect image every time. And it's great. I use it especially at Christmas for Christmas cards, because you can get the entire image that you want and stamp it, and it's going to be perfect every single time. Because when you're stamping individually from multiple things, it's hard to get the stamped image in the exact same spot every single time. So this is great. I'm going to go over what it is and how it works, and then we're going to stamp with it so I can show you. This is how it comes. It comes with one plate, and then it comes with a second plate. And you just set it down in the grooves and it locks in place. And you may be thinking, why would I need two plates? It's great if you have multiple stamps or you're two-step stamping. It's great because you can have one image stamp on one side and one on the other. So it opens up. Turned around this way. And we have a mat, and this mat is really good for the cushion that you need for your photopolymer stamp sets. Now, you won't need this mat in there if you're using the cling mount because they already have a cushion on there. So, comes with a mat. It's pretty thick. It's foam related. And then we have a grid in here that you can put ink on if it happened to get on here, and it'll just wash right off. And it also comes with a slight ruler. It goes up to 7 inches on both sides. You can also get, well, I have the Stampin' Up! Grid paper here. It also comes with grid paper just made for the Stamparatus. And you will just peel it out, and you could put it in here. One side is in centimeters and the other side is in inches. So you can sit it in there, do your stamping, whatever. Now, what else is good about this is, I'm going to take these off. The back side has these 4 non-skid, won't move on you, won't slide out from underneath you. It also comes with 2 magnets, one here and one here. I have lost the one that was over here. I will tell you, these magnets are very, very strong. If you butt them up together, they're so strong that it will snap the other one in half. So if you have them, keep them far apart from each other because they will snap together really quick. I have this tape on here because they're really hard to pull off, because they're just, you can see how fast it comes down. That's how strong they are. So I usually put this painter's tape on there just to help me get it off. So that's the underneath carriage. So now we're going to talk about how to stamp. So I'm going to put this plate on. Like I said, you just push it down and it goes right into place. I am going to be using a photopolymer stamp set, so I am going to put my mat in here. And then we're going to put some paper, hey Holly, up here in the corner. And I am going to use my magnet because I like to keep my paper in place. So I always start up here in the corner, and I'm going to put this down to hold my paper in place. And I'm going to be using the, where did it go? The Bottled Happiness stamp set, because there's 2-step stamping involved in here that I can show you. So the first thing I want to do Let's get the first stamp out. And I kind of want to put it down right about where I want it. You know, you can move it, adjust it however you want it. And you want to put it down, not on the side that you would mount to your block. You want to put it the image side down where you want it. And then you're going to fold the plate over. You're going to press down just a little bit. And then the stamp is exactly in the place that you want it. So I'm going to get up a little ink here. We're going to be using the Fresh Freesia. And that's what's cool about this, is you can stamp directly on to your stamp. And then you're just going to press down. And you've got a good image. But say that one of the images came out lighter than the other, that's okay. You just ink it up and it'll stamp it down and you won't even notice, because that's the good thing about the Stamparatus, is it will go back into place and you're not having to look through your clear block trying to get that second image to line up. So that's another good thing about the Stamparatus. To clean it off, this is where I usually use my Stampin Mist and my Stampin Scrub for my stamps, but for this I use my Stampin' Chamois, and it's just, you just wash it off and it's all clean. Now the next thing I want to do is to put the second set of flowers on, and I want to figure out where I want these to go, so I'm going to peel this off. We're going to line that up. This is like your two-step stamping. I hope y'all can't hear what's going on outside. If you can, I apologize. They are paving, re-asphalting our street, and it's loud. So I'm going to come in with some Pear Pizzazz. Hey, Loretta. Oop. And ink that up. And that's okay that this is over here. It's not going to get onto your image. So we're just going to hold that down. And then we've got our two-step stamping in the same place that we wanted it. I wanted to do those colors backwards, but I didn't. So I'm going to come in with my chamois, clean this up. Now, I'm just doing one of these at a time to show you how it works. But if you were mass producing these, you would not be removing these stamps. You would be leaving them in the perfect place for each one that you were going to be doing. And so you're probably thinking, well, how can I get two of these in the same spot? Well, what you would do is take it off, turn it around, and you would put that first stamp back on where you wanted it, and then you just keep turning it around. That way you'll always get it in the same spot. So now I want to do the bottle portion. So now I got to figure out exactly where I want the bottle to be. I'm going to line that up. It looks good about there. And then we're going to fold this over, press it down, and then our bottle is exactly where we want it to be. Now, if you don't have a lot of the full ink pads, you can use the Stampin' Spots. You get these out of your paper pumpkin. So, you know, you could just use your Stampin' Spots if that's easy for you, or that's all you have. These will work. This is soft suede. And then you'll just give it a firm press and lift it up. Now say you didn't, that looks okay, it all came out in a good stamped image, but you really wanted it to be darker. Well, that's okay. We can just add some more ink and we can get a darker image to the image that we want. So we'll just press down again. And you can see now that it's a darker image. That's the image of color that I was looking for. Yeah, it's super easy, Laura. Super, super easy. So, and say, you know, I've got all this and I'm mass producing these, so I'm going to keep my stamps on here, but I've run out of room, so now where am I going to put my sentiment? Well, we've got another plate over here for our sentiment. So, I'm going to use Overflowing with Happiness down here. So we would put our sentiment down here. We're going to put our second plate on, and we're going to pick that up. Now we're going to bring in our fresh freesia, and we're going to ink that up. And then we're going to place our sentiment. So you can probably see, this is great, like I said, for mass producing those Christmas cards or thank you cards for your, some of us are in direct sales. I know, Loretta, you are. And so if you were making thank you cards for your customers, you can mass produce these like crazy because all your stamps are in the perfect lineup for how you need them. And you can just bam, 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 put them together and mail them out. So this is great for mass producing things. And like I said, it's super easy to clean up. Super, super easy to clean up. Yeah, this is like, you know, you always have those staples of things that you really need, and the Stamparatus is a staple. It is a must-have for sure. In fact, I got this the Stamparatus before I even got the mini embossing machine because I already had the big one, but it's definitely a staple. Definitely a staple. Now I'm going to show you something else that's really, really cool. I'm going to take this one off. Say you're wanting to go, you want to do like a card or a tag where you're starting from the lightest to darkest color, or from the darkest to lightest, or lightest to darkest color. So say I want to do, let's use the Good Feelings, the thank you stamp set. I got this one for free when I attended, was it On Stage? I think it was On Stage or something stage. Okay. So, let me get another piece of paper. Put this up here. I'm going to put my thank you. Okay, this is a cling stamp set, so I don't need the foam mat. But I am, just to protect my surface, I am going to use the grid paper. Okay, so I'm going to line this up here like so. I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to pick up my stamp. I'm going to ink it up. I think I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz this time. And I am going to put some heavy amount of ink on there, and I'll show you why. Okay. We're going to lay this down and press it. Okay, I got a little edge over there because I got a little heavy-handed, but that's okay. I can still show you what I want to do. Okay, now we're going to pick this up, and we're going to move it down a notch. And we're not going to ink anymore. Well, let me see. This might be too close. But it brings it right underneath it. So you could just move it again and bring it down to the next hinge and stamp again. And you can go from light to darkest. So you could do a thank you, thank you, thank you in lightest to darkest, or you could just do it all dark just by moving the hinge. But it's going to allow you to move all your images all the way down the paper just by picking up the hinge. So instead of trying to put it on a block and trying to go here, 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 9 times out of 10, you are not going to get that perfect alignment. But the Stamparatus will allow you to get the perfect alignment every single time. So that's another way that you can use it. Just looking over my notes here. Now, how you want to store it is really simple. Some people say, well, if you've got 2 of your plates in there, it doesn't lay flat, and it won't. So if you put one down and one over it, it's not going to lay flat, and that could potentially break your plate, and we don't want that. So typically I take the top one out. I put the foam mat in. I put this plate in, and then I close it. And that way it's protecting the top layer or the bottom layer. If you wanted to put this in here and then put the mat on top, that would work, and then fold the top one down. So you're just protecting those plates. And then, like I said, you've got a housing for your magnets. Now, you're only seeing one of my magnets, but 2 comes with it, and this is their housing unit. Just be careful, never put them very close together. They'll snap together and break. And always put something on there where you can get them up, because they're that strong. I mean, you can just hear it. That's strong. So that's basically the Stamparatus. I mean, it's super simple to use, great for mass producing, great for getting those perfect images every time. And like I said, if one part of your stamp doesn't ink up very well, then you can go back and it's going to line it up perfectly. So that's the good thing about it. Oh my gosh, I know. The struggle is real. Every time I go to order, I have like my order list, and I always try to prioritize from what I want. And I kid you not, when I go to order, I'm still changing it. I'm still changing it around. I mean, the struggle is real. It really is. Oh my gosh. And I was going to show you too, I cleaned my blocks on Wednesday, but I've been stamping quite a bit here lately, and my block is already dirty from last Wednesday, because typically tomorrow is Wednesday and it's block cleaning day. But say I was using this and it's kind of sticky, you don't have to get all your Stampin' Mist out and your Stampin' Scrub out. A lot of times what I do is I just get an alcohol pad. And this is an easy way to just do a quick clean. I just rub it on there. And you can, I mean, it just takes all the gooiness off. And so this is a quick, if you've got any alcohol on hand. So you just throw it away and let it dry. But every Wednesday I clean my blocks, because a lot of people think you don't need to, but you really do. I just use a little soap. Hand soap with a little warm water. I'm cleaning them off real good. I'll let them air dry, because if you've got glue and stuff on there, or sticky hands, or extra ink, your stamps won't adhere to the blocks as properly as they should. So, and you get, after time, all that stuff starts to build up. So it's really important to give them a good clean at least once a week. You guys have any more questions about the Stamparatus? I need to look, and I meant to look today, but I had a team call with my upline. But they used to sell a bag for this, and it matched our other bag. Holly, do you know if they still sell the Stamparatus bag? I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Oh, it wouldn't be in here anyway. It would be on our site as a demonstrator, wouldn't it? Alright guys, if you have any questions about the Stamparatus, just reach out to me. I'll be back on here tomorrow doing a class on using your dies, alternate ways to use your dies besides what they're actually used for. So tune in for that. I'll be sending out the invites tonight. Okay, I'll look in the clearance rack, and if it is, I will link it below. And that way, if you want the bag for it, it's a really nice bag. It has pockets on the outside for things. It has 2 deep pockets on the inside that hold your Stamparatus. So it's really good if you were traveling. Because a lot of times if I go on vacation, I'll take a couple of projects with me, especially paper pumpkins that I haven't had a chance to work on, and I'll take my Stamparatus with me, and it's a great way to keep it safe, you know, whether you're flying or whether you're traveling in the car. I mean, if it were to drop, God forbid, then that bag is going to protect it. So it's really good. So if you have any questions, I'll just drop them in the comments, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks guys for tuning in. I appreciate you.